With the latest on the investigation into the killing of Alex Pretti by federal agents in Minneapolis. The Department of Homeland Security has sent Congress a preliminary report on the shooting of the 37-year-old ICU nurse as President Trump changes the administration's tone. Matt Rivers on the scene for us there in Minneapolis. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Robin. As the president is now calling for a de-escalation here in Minneapolis, the administration now all but admitting that the shooting and killing of Alex Pretti right there at that spot behind me was not justified.
This morning, new details in the killing of 37-year-old ICU nurse Alex Pretti by federal agents in Minneapolis. ABC News obtaining a report sent from the Department of Homeland Security to Congress notifying lawmakers that a preliminary review of the body camera footage worn by federal agents involved has been conducted. It's the first time the agency has acknowledged critical facts, notably that 2 firearms were discharged during the incident. Honestly! The report stating in part that during the physical struggle, a Border Patrol agent yelled, "He's got a gun," multiple times. You can faintly hear it said in this graphic video. The report going on to say approximately 5 seconds later, a Border Patrol agent discharged his Glock 19, and a Border Patrol agent also discharged his Glock 47 at Pretti. Oh my God! The 2 federal officers seen here pointing their guns at Pretti. Pretti's firearm, which he had a legal permit to carry, was removed from its holster by an officer before some 10 shots were fired, killing him. At no point in the DHS report does it say Pretti attempted to reach for his weapon, as officials had initially claimed in the hours after the shooting.
Did I think I was going to be filming a murder? No. An assassination? No.
Overnight, CNN speaking with Stella Carlson, a critical witness who captured Pretti's last moments alive.
I mean, I watched him die. I remember him arching his back and his head rolling back, and it was so fast moving, but not for me. Like, when they left, when they fled, which now I see, that after the shooting, they decided to just scatter and save themselves.
This, as President Trump now says he wants an honest investigation, while saying Pretti, who had a legal right to carry, quote, shouldn't have been carrying a gun. And on his first day in charge of the federal operation here, Border Czar Tom Homan meeting with Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Homan sharing in a post on X, "While we don't agree on everything, these meetings were a productive starting point." But tensions remain high. This video showing what appears to be federal agents attempting to enter the Ecuadorian consulate in Minneapolis, which is illegal under international law without permission. And steps away from a growing memorial, mourners gathered all day and night to pay respects to Alex Pretti. I asked if they feel a shift could happen.
Do you think it might be an inflection point?
God, I hope so. I feel like a lot of people have this strong fear that we're a test city, and I hope they realize it's a failure.
Now, in a statement, DHS saying they provide this report to Congress, quote, to promote transparency, and that it does not, quote, convey any definitive conclusion or investigative findings. Meanwhile, our viewers will remember this little boy who ICE took custody of last week after arresting his father in their driveway. Both father and son were eventually transferred to a family detention center in Texas. And now, Michael, a judge barring their deportation until the legal process plays out.
All right, Matt, thank you so much for all of that. I'm sure everyone will remember every bit of it. Appreciate you. Now we're going to go to Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. A man charging at the Minnesota Democrat spraying her with an unknown liquid at a town hall in Minneapolis last night. The suspect was immediately taken into custody, and our Jay O'Brien has the story. Good morning, Jay.
Michael, good morning. An alarming scene. A man rushing Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar at a town hall in Minneapolis just as she was condemning ICE and the Homeland Security Secretary.
Overnight, a chaotic scene at a Minnesota town hall. A man charging Congresswoman Ilhan Omar moments after she took the podium and called for ICE to be abolished and Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem to be removed from office.
Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
The man charging the Democratic congresswoman using a syringe, police say, to spray her with what witnesses describe as an unknown strong-smelling liquid.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
The alleged assailant, identified as 55-year-old Anthony Kazmierzak, grabbed by security, later arrested and charged with assault. Police saying Omar was uninjured.
We will continue this. We're not going to get away with it. And we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw.
While the exact motive of the attacker remains unclear, Omar has been a frequent target for conservative anger. President Trump has called her garbage and mocked her Somali heritage. Asked by our Rachel Scott if he saw the attack, Trump said he had not seen the video, going on to accuse Omar without evidence of orchestrating the incident, saying, quote, she probably had herself sprayed, knowing her. Omar, the only Somali American in Congress, fled the country's civil war as a child.
You know, I've survived war, and I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me, because I'm built that way.
And all of this comes as new data from the Capitol Police shows that the threats they track against members of Congress jumped by more than 50% just last year, George.
Okay, Jay, thanks very much. And facing declining poll numbers and rare criticism from Republicans, President Trump is promising to de-escalate the situation in Minneapolis while continuing to pin blame on Alex Pretti. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is at the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. When I spoke to the president late last night, he was adamant that his immigration enforcement operation in Minnesota is working. He made it clear that federal agents would be staying on the ground, but signaled they could take a more relaxed approach.
Overnight, President Trump telling ABC News in a late-night phone call he believes his administration can still finish its immigration enforcement operations in Minnesota in a, quote, de-escalated form. The president telling me in an exclusive interview, we'd like to finish the job and finish it well, and I think we can do it in a de-escalated form. A lot of the hardest work is already done. The president praising his administration's efforts on the ground. Amid a shakeup in leadership in Minnesota, I asked the president what the American people can expect to be different with Border Czar Tom Homan now in charge instead of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The president suggested there would be a more relaxed approach. We've taken out the largest part of the bad, really bad people, the president said, adding, so we can start doing maybe a little bit more relaxed. It's a notable change in tone by the president, who just months ago said this.
I think they haven't gone far enough.
The president would not say when federal agents would leave Minnesota, saying he's asking the governor to hand over criminals. The president telling me when they're out, and there will be a time coming in the not too distant future, then we go on to something else, leaving the door open to other states. The administration under fierce scrutiny after Border Patrol agents shot and killed Alex Pretti, an ICU nurse. Top officials quick to blame the 37-year-old, Stephen Miller labeling Pretti an assassin. And Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem saying Pretti committed an act of domestic terrorism. Earlier in the day in Iowa, the president did not disavow those comments, telling me Pretti, who was a legal gun owner, should not have been armed, calling the incident very unfortunate.
Do you agree with the assessment from some of your own officials that Alex Pretti is a domestic terrorist or an assassin?
Well, I haven't heard that, but certainly he shouldn't have been carrying a gun.
Video evidence so far shows he never drew or even reached for his weapon. Several gun rights groups dismissing the president's notion. The National Rifle Association saying all law-abiding citizens have a right to keep and bear arms anywhere they have a legal right to be. And this morning, Senators Tom Tillis and Lisa Murkowski becoming the first Republicans to call on Noem to step down.
I've lost confidence in her.
She's got to make her own decision, or the president does, but she has taken this administration into the ground on an issue that we should own.
The president defending Noem, telling me she's done a fantastic job, and attacking those Republican senators, calling them, quote, losers, stating they're terrible senators. One is gone, and the other should be gone.
Tillis, of course, is not running for re-election. Stephen Miller, the president's top advisor, did travel with him to Iowa. In a statement to ABC News, he said initial statements from DHS were based on reports from Border Patrol agents on the ground and suggested the administration is now reviewing whether there was a breach of protocol in this incident, Robin.
Insightful reporting from you as always. Thank you, Rachel.